Hello again, Guardians, and welcome back to the channel for another Destiny episode. In today's Destiny episode, we're going to be going over a fan-made concept art based around the Icebreaker and SIVA. Now, the concept art videos up on the channel currently have gotten a lot of attention. 100,000 views, 5,000 likes, 4,000 likes, somewhere around there. And you guys have been incredible with all of the support on these types of videos. So here's another concept video. I hope we can try to get to 500 likes on this video. I know I'm asking of a high mark, but I believe we can do it as a community. So thank you guys so much for the support. Moving on in this video though, you're going to see Icebreaker gameplay. The Icebreaker was an exotic sniper rifle during year 1. You were able to acquire it out of doing the raids or out of Nightfalls. It was a year 1 drop. This sniper rifle also regened its own ammo, so it was highly used inside of the Trials of Osiris, against Skolas, against Atheon, and also against Crota. The sniper rifle was actually one of those weapons next to the Gjallarhorn that everybody asked for inside of the fire team. And if you didn't have this, normally fire teams didn't let you join for a raid or for trials. And it was actually pretty sad. I honestly don't believe that you should do that because you don't really need the Icebreaker. It just made it easier. Now, moving on though, the Icebreaker is coming back to year 3 thanks to the Dawning event coming December 13th next week on Tuesday all the way up to January 3rd. Now you can acquire this Icebreaker even after the event's over. You're just going to have to go to Zavala, go and get his bounties, and you're going to have to go and do strikes. Strike scoring is now a new thing added into the concept of doing strikes, and what you're going to do is you're going to go and do strike scoring, finish these bounties, and you have a chance to be awarded with Icebreaker. So moving on with this concept video though, what are we going to be talking about? Well, we're going to be talking about the exotic concept based around the Icebreaker and SIVA. Here it is. Guardians, before we get into discussing about this new concept for the SIVA-fied version of the Icebreaker, I wanted to give credit to David Karpstein. David Karpstein's art station is going to be linked down in the description of this video, giving him full credit. Please go and check out his link and check out his full concept gallery. He's got an awesome portfolio of some really cool designs and some really nice concept art for Destiny, so it's definitely worth taking the time to look at. Moving on though for his idea of this new SIVA-fied Icebreaker. He does refer to it as an exotic sniper rifle concept Icebreaker for a year 3 upgrade. That means it can play along with the lore and the concept behind Icebreaker coming back in year 3. Icebreaker is coming back in year 3 thanks to the new Dawning event coming December 13th. And according to this, with that being possible, the Icebreaker, the SIVA-fied version that David came up with, can actually go along with a concept of adding into a new quest line during like the April update or something along that lines. So, once we get the normal Icebreaker, we would go through this quest line and we would get this new SIVA-fied Icebreaker. And what it is the description reads, please replace these components if used cause fatal damage. Heatsink, magazine, operator. Perks, no backpack. This will essentially work the same as it did in year 1, but with a slight change to fit how sniper rifles work now. The magazine would only carry 4 bullets, but the recharge rate would drop from 8 back down to the original 5 before the Taken King patch. Perk 1 would be mulligan, so if you miss a shot, you have a chance of getting that shot back in your magazine. Perk tree in the middle would be quick draw, lightweight, snapshot. And the final perk would be the exotic perk Icebreaker. Would still work like it did in year 1 with a slight added bonus. When you kill someone with the explosion, created by killing another person, you would get a full free magazine and the explosion now deals solar damage. Now the design behind this concept was, he described Icebreaker as always sounding like a war mine type of weapon. And he wanted to create that with the new idea behind the SIVA Pulse Rifle Outbreak looking like a sleeper simulant. I figured Icebreaker would look good with the move towards red with the glowing wires and the solar panels, and also added a large stock on the back. So that's where he came up with the design concept for this Icebreaker. Now, putting my 2 cents in. It can't be called Icebreaker. It's got to be called something else. So in relation to it being Icebreaker, maybe SIVA Breaker, maybe the SIVA-fied Icebreaker, I don't know what to really call it. What do you guys think? What would you like to call this exotic concept? Please link a bunch of comments down below of what you think this weapon should be called. Next up, the final perk, Icebreaker, is the original exotic perk for Icebreaker, which we shouldn't change what that perk does. It should have the original perk where if you kill somebody, an explosion can happen. That explosion will damage nearby enemies. We don't want to add the additional magazine or the solar damage without adding an additional perk. So what would you want to call that perk? Because as we know, all SIVA weapons work like this. It's got the original set of perks, and once you level it up all the way, it becomes SIVAfied. Once it has the SIVA tentacles and the SIVA nodes on that weapon, it then has an additional perk that works with the other original perks. So, Icebreaker is the original concept design of an exotic perk on this weapon. So it would instantly have that at the beginning of the skill tree. At the end of the perk tree, it would get the final upgrade, allowing Icebreaker perk to activate, but once the Icebreaker perk activated, if it killed someone, you would then get a full magazine and it does solar damage. That is actually a really cool concept idea, and I kind of like to fall on that a little bit more than the original perk tree that David came up with. Even though David's idea was great, those are the kind of ideas I'd like to add to this. So what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video and you want it to go to Bungie, make sure to comment down below at Bungie, because that way they will actually see this video. And then, as always, Guardians, stay violent, be privileged, and we'll see you in the next episode.